This lesson covers configuring Active Directory attributes for a multi-server work folder infrastructure. Typically, when a user connects to the work folder infrastructure via the workfolders.domain name, they will be connected to one of the work folders that have an alias created in DNS. This work folder would then, assuming the user has rights on that work folder, create a folder for them, or if a folder already exists, use that for synchronization. The first time this user connects, they will update their local registry with the specific work folder they need to use. The challenge is if you have multiple work folders. If I have multiple work folder servers, how does the user know which machine or which specific work folder server they should actually connect to and stores their information? So the first point is ensure users don't have permission to store data on multiple work folders. Each group of users should be assigned only one work folder server. For example, marketing may go to one server, sales may go to another. But the work folder server, when it gets that user request, which could be to any of the work folder servers as they all have DNS aliases configured, need to find out, well, which work folder server actually has content for this specific user. In Windows Server 2012 R2, there is not a specific way for them to automatically discover and find which work folder has data for this user. Instead, it's down to the organization to manually populate a new attribute that's part of the Windows Server 2012 R2 schema. This is the MSDS-sync server URL, and into that, the exact URL of the work folder server should be specified. When this is populated, when a work folder server gets a request from a user and there is no local folder available, it will go and check with Active Directory for that attribute and then redirect the users appropriately. This means if you're going to have more than one work folder server in your environment, you need to populate this attribute. Now you can see this through a number of different mechanisms. For example, if I look at the Active Directory Administrative Center, and I just look at the properties of any user, if I look at the extensions and I can see Attribute Editor, this shows me every attribute available. I could use ADSI Edit, I could use Active Directory Users and Computers. If I scroll down, I will see the MSDS sync server URL. So I would need to populate this. So I could do this manually using this tool, for example, by double clicking and enter the value. So https://specific server, so server1.domain.com. Or more likely, what you're going to want to do is use PowerShell. So use PowerShell to populate this value, and then also use PowerShell to configure the specific work folder servers for the same groups of users. In this way, as users connect to a work folder via the DNS round robin, it would then look up that AD attribute and redirect them to the correct server, and they would then update their local registry. This is very important because if a user has more than one machine, you need to make sure all those different machines are all connecting to the same work folder for synchronization. Imagine you just configured every work folder for domain users, and then the user used machine 1 and connected to the first work folder server and started synchronizing data. They then used their second machine and they got connected to a different work folder server via the DNS round robin. Without this AD attribute, they would then get a new folder created on server 2, and that second device would have a whole separate set of synchronized data. This would be a very bad thing, which is why if you're going to have multiple work folders, you have to have some mechanism to manually control this MSDS sync server URL.